This is Lee with 82 Gamma 12. We have another video of fighting formations, U.S. 29th Infantry Division. And we're picking up where we left off, which we ended the first turn, which in this scenario is labeled as turn 12. So I'm going to go through the process of re-establishing the order matrix. It's a pretty simple procedure. You're just rolling the 10-sided dice 10 times, and whatever number comes up, that's where the cube goes. So we'll go ahead and do that. This is a GMT game designed by Chad Jensen and Kai Jensen, and the scenarios were designed by John A. Foley. So all right, so let's take a look over here. And so I'm just going to be rolling some dice here. Probably roll multiple dice at one time, just to make it go a little faster. Six. There's 7. See if I should have plenty of 10-sided dice here. 8, 9. Should have one more here. That's a 12. There we go. All right, so here's the dice. And so I'll just start putting the cubes back where they need to go for this. So, so we've got a 10. So we put one there. Let's see, we don't have any 9s. We've got an 8. And we've got a 7. We've got a 6. No 5. 3 4s. Okay, a 3 and 2 1s. All right, so that's the matrix this time. And we've got the initiative pawn is sitting at 0. So when it's a 0, it's going to be whoever's holding the fate card, which is the U.S. player. Now, before we get started, I have to tape that or do something. We've got this book, Beyond the Beachhead, the 29th Infantry Division in Normandy, by Joseph Balowski. Okay, and this was a Stackpole Books. Okay, there's the barcode information about this. So, I wanted to talk a minute here about the tactics that's talked about in this book here. No soldier in any army was more fond of his rifle than an American infantryman was of his Garand M1. General Patton called the M1 the greatest battle implement ever devised. And the 29ers would have agreed with him. The M1 was highly regarded because it was the only well-built, mass-produced semi-automatic rifle in the world at that time. To work the weapon, a rifleman had only to pull back a small handle on the right side of the breech, shove a clip into the chamber from the top, and start shooting. As each round was fired, the gun automatically ejected the empty shell case and positioned another bullet in the chamber. A GI could fire the M1 as fast as he could pull the trigger. When the clip's 8 rounds were expended, inserting a new clip in the rifle took only a few seconds. The men had to be very careful, however, when reloading. A properly positioned clip automatically released a heavy metal bolt that slammed forward. A GI who inserted the clip in the incorrect fashion stood a good chance of getting his thumb smashed by the flying bolt. Almost every rifleman had an M1 thumb at one time or another during training. The thumb swelled up and turned purple, and the nails sometimes dropped off. It was incentive enough to learn the proper loading method. Now, I think this is mentioned in the Saving Private Ryan movie. One of the characters has a bruised thumb. So I think that's a kind of a hint toward that. The M1 was revolutionary for this day. A soldier armed with an M1 had more firepower than any rifleman in the history of warfare. U.S. Army tacticians had boundless confidence in the weapon, according to Army manuals. Okay, this picture here shows an American infantryman firing his Garand M1 or Garand through a hole in a Norman hedgerow. Okay, so the hedgerows were thick, nasty stuff. Okay, got another picture over here of, let's see, just a couple pages over. Right here, this shows some soldiers moving between the hedgerows. Okay, so that's quite an obstacle. And the height, you got to think also some of this stuff was pretty high. So being able to shoot over them could be an issue. Now, I don't know in the game whether or not, it seems like it's just a hindrance. You can fire, I guess, through them or over them, but it's a hindrance. It doesn't block line of sight. It's not considered an obstacle for that. So, and then just to mention here about the U.S. Weapons. Okay, so if we look here at the M1, it weighed 9 pounds. Range 600 yards. Rate of fire is 32. I guess that's rate of fire. Yeah. Rate of fire in rounds per minute. And that's the maximum rate. So Now the carbine was Winchester, weighed only 5.8, but the range was half. So, and then the German rifle, K98K Mauser, 9 pounds, range 600, rate only 15. So, and of course we've got some of these M1919 machine guns. Okay, there's one right here. Okay, so it's a Browning. Okay, weight 42.2 pounds, range 600, effective range, and then rate 500 rounds per minute. And they did have, I think, let's see, did they have a 50? I thought they had a 50 somewhere. Yeah. Okay, here's the 50 caliber. Okay. That, okay, also Browning, 50 caliber, weighed 129 pounds. That's hefty. But the range was 1,800 yards. Rate of fire 500. And then the German 42, okay, with a bipod, 26 pounds. With a tripod, 55 pounds. And with the tripod, it was ranged out to 2,000 yards. And the rate of fire was 1,200. So the rate of fire for the German machine gun was much higher. So that's just a few things there. If you can pick up this book on Amazon, I think I got it at Barnes and Nobles is I think where I picked it up at. I knew I was getting this game, and so I wanted some reading material to go with it. All right, so we've got the order matrix set. Now what we need to do is get started. It's going to be the U.S. 29th Infantry's option. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and play this because they had it in their hand. And what this does is allows them to remove a hit marker from an infantry unit. So we're going to remove this suppressed marker that we have here. Right here. Has to be on an infantry unit, so. Okay, let's see what the U.S. player is going to do here. We got fire, rally, move, battalion support, 2 assets, assault, regiment support, and division support. We need to be we've got to do something here concerning these Stoogs that are pressing us. So I guess we're going to have to choose a fire action. Maybe a little darker. My overhead lamp has decided to be finicky. So I'm having to use a smaller lamp, and it's not providing the same light. We'll make it work though. I guess they're going to do a fire. Now we could do an assault, but it's going to cost us 1 initiative for everyone that fires, each unit that fires. So, let's go with fire. I'm going to move that there. Oh. And that moves this 2, 1, 2. All right, now we have to look here and say, okay, who's firing? Okay. These guys can't fire. They're still stunned. So we've got this unit here is going to fire. Flip him over. That's going to cost 1. I really should have used my infantry to try to melee with these tanks, or these, yeah. But it's too late. I've already picked it. Now we do have another one of these. We have this bazooka card, okay, and it says play during any order. Okay, so a fresh U.S. infantry unit not in melee. Either they make the firepower AP, or they gain plus 1 die for firing HE at a fortification or building. But it's a range of 1 or 2. So I don't know. I guess it doesn't cost any initiative. It doesn't say that you have to activate the unit. So I'm going to use that over here. So this is the unit. This is the target. We're hitting the flank. So we've got a pretty good chance of maybe doing something. So 17 power. We're rolling 10s, but we are adjacent. So that would be, we go up in dice. So we're going to 12s. Oh, well, we rolled a 3 and a 1. The 1 is means it's going to be lost in the terrain somehow. So you always have a hindrance of 1. And so that card, kind of a waste. You roll like that. Roll so low. Alright, now we're going to go over here to this other tank. Alright. Now, you say, well, return fire. I could do some return fire. Okay. So return fire from this unit to here. He's got line of sight to this guy firing. So 10. Okay. I would consider that like direct firing. Maybe it's not. That'd be a question to ask when you have a bazooka attack. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're not allowed to do, because it's not really considered direct firing, and that's the only time you can do return fire. So I guess I won't allow it. All right, let's go ahead and go over here. We're going to have return fire over here. All right, so we've got the Sherman attacking the Stug here. They're adjacent. So we're going to go up to 12. Now we are firing over this hitch. Well, it's bocage. So there's a hindrance of, I guess, 5. And we rolled a 1. So that takes care of that. Okay, now we're going to have return fire by this unit. They're in the same boat. They are adjacent, so they get to go up in dice, so they're rolling 12s. Okay. 8 and a 2. The 2 is going to be lost in the bocage. So no effect on either side there. So we flip these guys back over, and that's it. Let's put that over there. And pull back and take a look, see what we've got. Okay, so the German player, they also would like to fire. So they're going to take the fire cube. That's 2. 1, 2. Everyone that they've got is going to cost them. So, okay. Their command tokens on the tactical side. So that means every action to activate somebody is going to cost 1 initiative. So we want to activate this unit. You can activate him also. He can fire here. It's another one. If they just do that, then they're going to get another turn. Because it's still here on the German side. So let's do that. All right, so I'm going to fire here first. Again, they're firing 12s. 3, that means it's a miss. Now, they get to fire return fire. Rolling 12s, they're adjacent. 4 was lost in the bocage. All right, then this unit here is firing here. And let's just make sure that they're in the arc. So here's the arc. We turn this around. Okay, we can see that they can fire here. Okay, that's where this unit's at. Here, straight ahead, and then there. So, actually fire this way and also here. All right. Now they're not adjacent, so they're just rolling 10s. But you still have the bocage as a hindrance, and it provides cover too. 6 and 3, so that takes care of that. Return fire by this Sherman. He's rolling 10s as well. Yeah. Oh, he rolled a 15. Okay. Plus the 16, that's going to be 31. So 31. Okay. And his defense, 22. With the cover, that's going to be 3. So he's 25. Okay. 13. Yeah, he's well over the 31. So, okay. Okay, that order's finished. Now let's take a look here. What we have. We've got a 3, we've got rally, we've got advance sniper. Oh, wait a minute. The Americans had sniper. So they could have removed, this command here. They should have, that's what they should have done. Forgot about the sniper. I didn't use that sniper. Which would have forced the Germans to bring this out. Okay. Which would have saved those 2 points. So which means I could have spent some points over here firing. Right here. So we'll take 2 to fire with this unit. He's going to fire at the top unit that's stunned here. Okay. He's going to be firing with 12s. And we've got 12 and 2 is 14. The hindrance is only a 1, so that means it went through. So 14 to 21, that's 35. Okay. Defense, rolling 10s. Defense is 22. Rolling 11, 33. Okay, so that hit is going to eliminate this tank. This tank here is eliminated. We got 1 Sherman left. And there is no return fire because this armored car is stunned. All right, so now we flip them back over. All right. Now the Germans have the initiative still. They're at 1. So they could turn the sniper over. They could do the move there. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to take the move, which is going to just move it 3. 1, 2, 3. And so instead of moving, they can just fire again. So that's what they're going to do. They're just going to do the fire. And again, we're going to fire with both of these. And with this one here is going to cost them 2. Move that. These were free due to the command. Okay. Let's start down here first. Rolling 12s because he's adjacent. All right, 23. That's going to be 44. Okay. Defender's rolling 2 10s. Has a strength of 11 and 13. it's only like, what, 24? So they take another hit, which means they're eliminated. And there is no return fire. Okay. Now they could have given up the fate card to save one of those tanks. All right. This tank is firing here. Rolling 12s. Bocage. Hindrance of 5. And there's a 5. So that was ate up by the bocage. We've got the return fire. And we've got a 1, so that's the bocage. Okay, flip them over. And we have the other Stug here. Oh, wait a minute, they're not adjacent. Oh, we got 16. 16 and 21. Oh, that's 37. Okay. 8 and 22 is 30. And we got a rattled marker, which means they can still move and shoot. They take another hit, though they're done. They return fire. Five gets lost in the bocage. So, okay. So that ends that order. Now the U.S. player needs to think about what they're going to do. Yeah, they're going to do the assault, which is going to cost them 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put it on the German 3 side, but it's going to go further than that because we've got to, when we activate these guys, we've got to use initiative to activate them. So, activate him. That cost 1. Now we're at 4. We activate this one. That's 5. We activate this one. It's up to 6. And then activate both of these guys. We're moved it all the way to 9. Okay. So I'm going to start by moving this guy. So he's going to move to here. He's not in this guy's line of fire. He's got the restricted arc because he's got the triangle. Okay, right there. That means a restricted arc. Stoogs were not able to traverse their gun mount. So now he is in line of sight here. So that could possibly fire 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to be spent, but that's 9 to his 10 is 19. And then this unit is in the open, moving, so -1, so he's at 7. Also, wait a minute. He should have been rolling. This is opportunity fire. So he's got to be rolling. Oh, but he's not firing AP. Okay, that's all right. So he rolled a 10. Okay. And 7, so that's 17. I forgot what he rolled. That's why I have to have the dice. I guess it was a miss. Okay. But he's spent. All right, and then he's going to spend, he only has 3 movement because it's assault. So it's half of what their movement is. So he goes to there. Now he's in range with this guy. So now he's getting fired at there. Okay, from the Stoogs machine guns. Coaxial. Okay. 16. Let's see, there's no hindrance for the woods. That's an obstacle. Does provide cover though. So 16 and 10 is 26. He's going to have 10. And 12 is 22. So he's going to take a hit there. So he's pinned. All right. Now, by him performing that opportunity fire, that goes down 2. And then over here, this guy, 0. So it doesn't affect him. Okay. All right. Okay, so this rifle unit moves into there. That's 2. He's got 1 movement left. And he's going to use that to fire. But before he gets to do that, he's getting fired on by this unit right here, this rifle unit. So and because he's adjacent, we're going up in dice. That's 18. So 31. Defense with the building is floor cover. So he goes up to 13. 13 and 19. 13. That's 32. So he's okay. He's okay there. Okay. So now he's going to use his one movement to fire here. He gets to roll on the 12s. 5 and 1. It's always a hindrance of 1, so that was ineffective. Now this guy can fire back, which he does, using 12s. 24. That's 37. Defense, he's rolling 10s with a +4. He rolled 9, +4 is 13. 13 and 9. Oh, that's way lower than 37. So all right, so he's shaking. Okay. So he's done. All right. That guy's going to move to there. And he's got one movement point left. Tell you what, before he moves there, he's going to use his one movement point to fire here. Roll a 13 and 16, 29. Defense with the woods is 2 becomes 13. 13 and 14 is 27. So he takes and he's suppressed, so he can't fire back. So then he moves here. Okay. And these guys both move into here. When they do, this Stu can fire at them with their HE capabilities. It's 18. 18 and 10, 28. Okay. Both of these units. We'll go with the heavy machine guns first. They're in a building, so they get a +4. So it's 11 becomes 15, and 9 is 24. So they're going to take a hit. So they're pinned. This one here rolls. Oh, they roll a 3. So they're going to get hit. Pinned. So they're both pinned. And that's going to be all of that activation. Flip this guy over. Move this bent marker. That's all of that order. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Yeah, let's use this more fire. Okay, so that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move it down here to fire. And let's see here. I'm going to fire this one and this one and this one. Those are all free. This one here is going to cost 2. 1, 2. And this one here will cost 2. 2. And then this one here will cost 2. There we go. So we'll start here, firing here into these woods. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, firing with the strength of 12. That's 18, so that's going to be 30. Defense. They're in woods. So first one here, 14. I rolled a 10. That's 24. I take a hit. They're suppressed. They can't fire. Okay, this other one. 14. That's 28. They're going to take, well, no, wait a minute. They've got, what is it, 2 more with a cover. So that's 14 and, that would be, okay, so 14 and 12, that's 26 plus 2 more is 28. So yeah, that's still a hit. And they're going to be shaken. Okay, that one's finished. We're going to move down here. Okay. Strength of 12. Rolled 6. So 6 and 12 is 18. Defense is 11, plus 2 is 13, and and they rolled a 12, so that's going to be more than 18. So they're okay. Now they could be returning fire, but they don't have anything to affect the armored unit there. So it's kind of moat, worthless, not worth it. Okay. So this Duke's going to fire here. Okay. Firing with 12 since they're adjacent. Rolled a 9. 9 and 12 is 21. All right, so this unit here has 12 plus 4, so that's 16. Rolled 14, that's going to be well over the 21. The other one is 12 plus 4 is 16. He rolled an 8, that's 24, so that's still over that. So, okay. All right. We'll go with this rifle unit. Firing here. Fire strength of 13. 13 and 13 is 26. Fence is 12 plus 4 for being in the building. So 16. 16 and 8 is 24. Okay, so they are eliminated. That's just a squad. So now we go to the tanks. Rolling 12s. 9 and a 7, 16. Okay, 9, 7, both higher than the hindrance. 16, 21, 37. Okay, the fence is 22 with a plus 3. It's 25. But he only rolled a 4. All right, so he's eliminated. Second hit. This guy, we can have him fire over here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. So he's got to go down in dice, so he's rolling 8s. 2 and 6. There's no hindrance in the woods, so that'd be 8. So that's going to be 20. Okay. And he's got defensive 11 plus 2 for being in the woods. That's 13. And 6. It's 19. So he does take a hit, which means he's got to deploy. So so one of these is eliminated. The other 2 guys are stuck here, but one of them is pinned, the other's not. Okay. All right, so that takes care of that order. And where we're at, the initiative pawn is at 4 for the U.S. And what we have for the U.S. is we've got 2 of these on move. The 6 is on battalion support. Then we have a 9 and a 10. So sniper and division support is what we got for the U.S. And the 29th have lost all of their tanks, their armored vehicle, and they're in pretty sad shape. Only things that they could really hope for is getting into these, trying to spread out and get into these objective hexes, which are all building hexes, and trying to hold on. But in order to move, they're going to get fired on multiple times as they scamper across, trying to get to these objective hexes. And they're going to have a hard time knocking those tanks out unless they try to do it with melee, or force the German tanks, the Stooges, to come into the town hexes, where then they have the advantage in the close combat. But I think this gives you a pretty good look at a lot of the aspects of the game. I don't think I've had any close combats yet. Those are handled differently. I could try to show you some of those maybe in the next video. But, you know, looking at what's going on right now, the U.S. player has all these units that have some kind of casualties on them, hit markers on them. So they're limited in what they can do. So they'd have to be trying to rally. But, you know, they're still limited in what they can do with the loss of all of their armor. But I'm going to stop right there and Yeah, I'll have to try to show you some assaults, different types of assaults, advances, things like that, because the vehicle assaults are handled different than the infantry assaults or melees and the vehicle melees, gun melees, so forth. So you got three different types of melee. You've got against guns, against armor, but also you've got armor performing the attack and infantry performing the attack. Of course, guns can't attack through a melee, but I'll see about showing that, and then I'll look through here to see if there's something else. Maybe some asset cards, barrages and stuff. I showed that once, but I'll look through the cards to see if there's something specific to that I could show you how it's done. And that'll be it for this little introduction here to Fighting Formations U.S. 29th Infantry Division. It's not a very difficult system to learn or play. It's just, unique. So things are different. The mechanics are different, which takes a little bit of time to adjust to, but it's not a major adjustment. It's pretty minor. So shouldn't have any problem with, say, someone that has been playing war board games for quite a while, and then also people that haven't. If you haven't, then you have no problem adjusting, because it's all new to you anyways. So, but yeah, this is clearly my favorite tactical World War II system to play. And I strongly suggest that if you haven't played it, that you find a way to play it, whether it be a friend of yours that has it or you purchase the game to play it. You can purchase maybe one of the other older version, which has to do with the Russians and Germans fighting each other on the Eastern Front. So I'm not much of a Eastern Front player, but I was intrigued by this system, and so normally I probably wouldn't have ever even purchased the game, because it's Eastern Front. It's just a front that I don't have a lot of interest in. But due to the fact that this was a different system, and things were going to be approached in a different way, I was curious and thought, I want to take a look at that. And so I'm glad I picked it up. And I'm looking to future volumes in the series to see what else they'll come up with. Whether or not they'll do a Pacific volume with Marines or not, just have to wait to find out. There's plenty to be done with the Western, the Europe campaign, theater of war, Western Europe, with maybe a volume with an English formation. So, but I'm dragging. When I'm tired, I start kind of babbling. So, if you got any questions, throw them out there. I've had a few comments, and I really appreciate comments. Doesn't bother me if you're commenting to explain something or mention something I did wrong. I like that because if I'm doing something wrong, I want to be sure that I know about it so that I can correct it and make sure that I'm playing them the right way, so that you pick up the game and you start playing it. You're not making the same mistakes that I make concerning this. So, okay, well, I'll see you in the next video, and check it out. Fighting formations. It's a wonderful system.